And YaHUaH said to Moshe, Yet will I bring one more plague upon Pharaoh and upon Mizraim. Afterwards he will let you go from here. When he shall let you go, he shall surely drive you out from here altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man ask from his neighbor, and every woman from her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. And YaHUaH gave the people favor in the sight of the Mizraim. Moreover, the man Moshe was very great in the land of Mizraim, and in the sight of Pharaoh's avadim, and in the sight of the people. And Moshe said, This says YaHUaH, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Mizraim, and all the Bachor in the land of Mizraim shall die, from the Bachor of Pharaoh that sits upon his kisei, even to the Bachor of the female Eved that is behind the mill, and all the Bachor of the beast. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Mizraim, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall no dog move his tongue, against man or beast, that you might know that YaHUaH does put a difference between the Mizraim and Israel. And all these your avadim shall come down to me, and bow down themselves to me, saying, Get out, and all the people that follow you. And after that will I go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, Pharaoh shall not listen to you, that my wonders might be multiplied in the land of Mizraim. And Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh. And YaHUaH hardened Pharaoh's left, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. And YaHUaH spoke to Moshe and Aaron in the land of Mizraim, saying, This Kodesh shall be for you, the beginning of Kodashim, and it shall be the first Kodesh of the year for you. Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th yom of this Kodesh, they shall make for themselves every man a lamb, according to the bait of the avot, a lamb for a bait. And if the household is too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his bait take it according to the number of the beings. Every man according to his needs, you shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish. A male of the first year, you shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And you shall keep it until the 14th yom of the same Chodesh. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in between the evenings. And they shall take for the dam and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper doorpost of the batim, in which they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that laila, roasted with fire and matzah, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat none of it raw, nor cook or boil at all with mayim, but roast it with fire, its head with its legs, with the inside parts. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remains until the morning you shall burn with fire. And this is how you shall eat it, with your loins dressed, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And you shall eat it in a great hurry. It is YaHUaH's Pesach. For I will pass through the land of Mizraim this laila, and I will smite all the Bachor in the land of Mizraim, both men and beast. And against all the Elohim of Mizraim I will execute Mishpat. I am YaHUaH. And the dam shall be to you for a note upon the batim where you are. And when I see the dam, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you, when I smite the land of Mizraim. And this yom shall be to you for a memorial, and you shall shomer it as a moed to YaHUaH throughout your generations. You shall shomer it as a moed by a mishpat leolam vaed. 7 yamim shall you eat matzah. Even the first yom you shall put away chametz out of your batim. For whoever eats lechem with chametz for the first yom until the 7th yom, that being shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first yom there shall be a mikra chodesh, and on the 7th yom there shall be a mikra chodesh to you. No matter of work shall be done in them, except that which every man must eat. that only might be done by you. And you shall observe Chag Matzot, for this very Yom have I brought your divisions out of the land of Mizraim. Therefore shall you observe this Yom in your generations, by Mishpat Le'olam Va'ed. In the first Chodesh, on the 14th Yom of the Chodesh, between the evenings, you shall eat matzah until the 21st Yom of the Chodesh at evening. 7 Yamim shall there be no chametz found in your batim. For whoever eats that which is chametz, even that being shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a girl or born in a land. You shall eat nothing with chametz. In all your dwellings shall you eat matzah. Then Moshe called all the Zechanim of Israel and said to them, Choose and take a lamb according to your mishpachot and kill the Pesach. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the dam that is in a basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the dam that is in the basin. None of you shall go out of the door of his bayit until the morning, for YaHUaH will pass through to smite the Mitzrim. And when he sees the dam upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, YaHUaH will pass over the door and will not allow the destroyer to come in to your batim to smite you. And you shall observe this word as a mishpat for you and for your sons Le'olam Va'ed. And it shall come to pass, when you have come to the land that YaHUaH will give you, according as he has promised, that you shall shomer the service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say to you, What do you mean by this service? That you shall say, It is the sacrifice of YaHUaH's Pesach, or pass over the batim of the children of Israel in Mizraim, when he smote the Mizraim and delivered our batim. And the people bowed their heads and worshipped. And the children of Israel went away and did as YaHUaH had commanded Moshe and Aaron, so they did. And it came to pass that at midnight YaHUaH smote all the Bachor in the land of Mizraim, from the Bachor of Pharaoh that sat on his kisei to the Bachor of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the Bachor of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the Lilah, he and all his avadim and all the Mizrim. There was a great cry in Mizraim, for there was not a bayit where there was not one dead. And he called for Moshe and Aaron by Lilah and said, Rise and get out from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go serve YaHUaH, as you have said. Also take your flocks and your herds, as you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Mizrim greatly urged the people that they might send them out of the land in a great hurry. For they said, We will all be dead men. And the people took their dough before it was chametz, the kneading bowl being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moshe. And they asked of the Mizrim jewels of silver and jewels of gold and garments. And YaHUaH gave the people favor in the sight of the Mizrim, so that they gave to them such things as they required. And they plundered the Mizrim. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Sukkot, about 600,000 on foot that were men besides children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Mizraim, for it was not chametz, because they were driven out of Mizraim and could not delay, neither had they prepared for themselves any food. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Mizraim was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even on the very same Yom of the entry, it came to pass that all the division of the children of Israel out from the land of Mizraim. It is a Lilah to be much observed to YaHUaH for bringing them out from the land of Mizraim. This is a Lilah unto YaHUaH to be observed by all the children of Israel in all the generations. And YaHUaH said to Moshe and Aaron, This is the huch of the Pesach. There shall no girl eat of it, but every man's eved that is bought for money, when you have performed brit milah upon him, then shall he eat of it. A foreigner and a hired eved shall not eat of it. In one bite shall it be eaten. You shall not carry forth any of the flesh outside the bait, neither shall you break a bone of it. All the congregation of Israel shall shomer it. And when a ger shall sojourn with you and desires to shomer the Pesach to YaHUaH, all his males must perform brit milah, and then let him come near and shomer it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat of it. One Torah shall be for him that is native, and for the ger that sojourns among you. This did all the children of Israel, as YaHUaH commanded Moshe and Aaron, so did they. And it come to pass the very same yom that YaHUaH did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Mizraim by the divisions. And YaHUaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Set apart to me all the bachor, whatever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of men and of beast, it is mine. And Moshe said to the people, Remember this yom in which you come out from Mizraim, out of the bite of bondage, for by the strength of his hand YaHUaH brought you out from this place. There shall no lechem with chametz be eaten. This yom came you out in the chodesh of Aviv. And it shall be when YaHUaH shall bring you into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your avot to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall shomer the service in this chodesh. 7 yamim shall you eat matzah, and in the 7 yom shall be a moed to YaHUaH. Matzah shall be eaten 7 yamim, and there shall be no lechem with chametz be seen with you. Neither shall there be chametz seen with you in all your borders. And you shall inform your son in that yom, saying, This is done because of what YaHUaH did for me when I came forth out of Mizraim. And it shall be for you an oath to you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that the Torah of YaHUaH might be in your mouth. For with a strong hand has YaHUaH brought you out of Mizraim. You shall therefore shomer this chuk in its appointed time from year to year. And it shall be when YaHUaH shall bring you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and to your avot, and shall give it to you, that you shall set apart to YaHUaH all that paters the womb, and even every pater that comes from a beast which you have. All males belong to YaHUaH. And every bachor of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb, and if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck. And all the bachor among your children shall you redeem. And it shall be when your son asks you in times to come, saying, What is this? That you shall say to him, By the strength of his hand YaHUaH brought us out from Mizraim, from the bite of bondage. And it come to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that YaHUaH killed all the bachor in the land of Mizraim, both the bachor of men and the bachor of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to YaHUaH all that pater the womb, being male, but all the bachor of my children I redeem. And it shall be for an oath upon your hand, and for frontlets between your eyes. For by the strength of his hand YaHUaH brought us forth out of Mizraim. And it come to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Elohim led them not through the way of the land of the Plishtim, although they were near. For Elohim said, Lest the people regret when they see war and they return to Mizraim. But Elohim led the people around to the way of the Yam Suf, and the children of Israel went up armed out of the land of Mizraim. And Moshe took the bones of Yosef with him. But he had certainly made the children of Israel swear, saying, Elohim will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones away from here with you. And he took the journey from Sukkot and encamped in Etam, in the edge of the wilderness. And YaHUaH went before them by yom in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them in the way, and by Lailah in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go with them by yom and Lailah. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by yom, nor the pillar of fire by Lailah, from before the people. And YaHUaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pi-hahirot, between Migdol and the sea, and oppose Baal Zephon. Before it shall you encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's left, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored through Pharaoh and over all his army, that the Mizraim might know that I am YaHUaH. And they did so. It was told the Melech of Mizraim that the people fled. And the left of Pharaoh and of his avadim were turned against the people, and they said, why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his mikvah and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen mikvot and all the mikvot of Mizraim and captains over every one of them. And YaHUaH hardened the left of Pharaoh Melech of Mizraim, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with a high hand, but the Mizraim pursued after them all the horses and the mikvot of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them camping by the sea beside Pihahiroth before Baal Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes and see the Mizraim march after them, and they were much afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to YaHUaH. And they said to Moshe, because there was no graves in Mizraim, have you now taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why have you dealt with us in this manner to carry us forth out of Mizraim? Is not this the word that we did tell you in Mizraim, saying, leave us alone, that we might serve the Mizraim? For it have been better for us to serve the Mizraim, that we should die in the wilderness. And Moshe said to the people, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of YaHUaH, that he will show to you today. For the Mizraim who you have seen today, you shall see them again no more, le'olam va'ed. YaHUaH shall fight for you, and you shall stay still. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, why do you cry to me? Speak to the children of Israel, that they might go forward. But lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the middle of the sea. And see, I will harden the levavot of the Mizraim, and they shall follow them. And I will get for myself honor through Pharaoh, and upon all his armies, upon his mikvot, and upon his horsemen. And the Mizraim shall know that I am YaHUaH, when I have gotten honor for myself through Pharaoh, his mikvot, and his horsemen. And the Malach Elohim who went before the camp of Israel moved and went behind them. And a pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Mizraim and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by Lilah to these, so that the one came not near the other all the Lilah. And Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea, and YaHUaH caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that Lilah, and made the sea dry land, and the Mayim were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the Mayim were walled to them on the right hand and on the left. And the Mizraim pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his mikvot, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, YaHUaH looked to the armies of the Mizraim through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the army of the Mizraim, and took off the mikvot wheels, that they drove them with difficulty. So that the Mizraim said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for YaHUaH fight for them against the Mizraim. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, stretch out your hand over the sea, that the Mayim might come again upon the Mizraim, upon the mikvot, and upon the horsemen. And Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its usual flow when the morning appeared. And the Mizraim fled right into it, and YaHUaH overthrew the Mizraim in the midst of the sea. And the Mayim returned and covered the mikvot, and the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not even one of them alive. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea. And the Mayim were a wall to them, on the right hand and on the left. So YaHUaH saved Israel that yom out of the hand of the Mizraim. And Israel saw the Mizraim dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which YaHUaH did upon the Mizraim. And the people feared YaHuaH and believed YaHuaH and his avid Moshe. Then sung Moshe and the children of Israel this cheer to YaHuaH, and spoke, saying, I will sing to YaHuaH, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and the rider has he thrown into the sea. Yah is my strength and cheer, and he has become my salvation. He is my El, and I will allel him. My Abba's Elohim, and I will exalt him. YaHuaH is a man of war. YaHuaH is his name. Pharaoh's Merkavot and his army has he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also were drawn into the Yam Suf. The depths have covered them. They sunk into the bottom as a stone. Your right hand, O YaHuaH, has become Tiferet in power. Your right hand, O YaHuaH, has dashed in pieces their enemy. And in the greatness of your excellency, you have overthrown them that rose up against you. You sent forth your anger, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of your nostril, the Mayim were gathered together. The flood stood upright as a heap, and the depths became stiff in the left of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the plunder. My desire shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You did blow with your wind, the sea covered them, they sunk as lead in the mighty Mayim. Micha Mocha, O YaHuaH, among the mighty ones, who is like you, beautiful in set apartness, awesome in tefillot, doing wonders. You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You and your Rachamim had led forth the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength to your Chadosh dwelling. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of the Philistia. Then the rulers of Edom shall be amazed, the mighty men of Moab. Trembling shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of your arm they shall be still as a stone, until your people pass over. O YaHuaH, until the people pass over whom you have purchased. You have brought them in and planted them in the heart of your inheritance, in the place, O YaHuaH, which you have made for yourself to dwell in the Kadosh place, O YaHuaH, that your hands have established. YaHuaH shall reign Leolam Vayed, for the horse of Pharaoh went in with his Merkavot and with horsemen into the sea, and YaHuaH brought again the Mayim of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the Neviah, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing to YaHuaH, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. So Moshe brought Israel from the Yam Suf, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 yamim in the wilderness, and found a Mayim. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the Mayim of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moshe, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried to YaHuaH, and YaHuaH showed him a net which he had cast into the Mayim. The Mayim were made sweet. There he made for them a hook and a mishpat, and there he tested them, and said, If you will diligently listen to the voice of YaHuaH your Elohim, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his mitzvot, and shomeh all his chukim, I will put none of these diseases upon you, which I have brought upon the Misraim, for I am YaHuaH, Rofecha. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of Mayim and 70 palms 18, and they encamped there by the Mayim. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th year of the 2nd Chodesh, after the departing out of the land of Mizraim. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, woe to Elohim who had died by the hand of YaHUaH in the land of Mizraim, when we sat by the pots of meat, and when we did eat lechem until we were full. For you have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole congregation with hunger. Then said YaHUaH to Moshe, See, I will rain lechem from the Shemayim for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain amount every yom, that I might test them, whether they will have the halakha in my Torah or not. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th yom they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moshe and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, At evening, then you shall know that YaHUaH has brought you out of the land of Mizraim. And in the morning, then you shall see the Tiferet of YaHUaH, for he heard your murmurings against YaHUaH. And who are we that you murmur against us? And Moshe said, This shall be when YaHUaH shall give you in the evening meat to eat, and in the morning lechem to your satisfaction. For YaHUaH hears your murmurings, that you murmur against him. And who are we? Your murmuring are not against us, but against YaHUaH. And Moshe spoke to Aaron, saying, To all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come kneel before YaHUaH, for he has heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and see, the Tiferet of YaHUaH appeared in a cloud. And YaHUaH spoke to Moshe, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, At evening you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with lechem, and you shall know that I am YaHUaH your Elohim. And it came to pass that at evening the quails come up and cover the camp. In the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And when the dew that lay was gone up, see, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna, for they did not know what it was. And Moshe said to them, This is the lechem that YaHUaH has given you to eat. This is the thing which YaHUaH has commanded. Gather of it every man according to eating, an omer to every man according to the number of your persons. Take some for every man who is in his tent. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And when they did measure it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his need. And Moshe said, Let no man leave any of it until the morning. Nevertheless they listened not to Moshe, but some of them left it until the morning, and the bread wormed and smelled. And Moshe was angry with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his need. And when the shemesh became hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th yom they gathered twice as much lechem, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe. And he said to them, This is that which YaHUaH has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the Kadosh Shabbat to YaHUaH. Bake that which you will bake today, and cook what you will cook. That which remained left over, stored up for yourselves until the morning. And they stored up until the morning, as Moshe commanded. And it did not stink, neither was there any worm inside. And Moshe said, Eat that today, for today is Shabbat to YaHUaH. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 yamim you shall gather it, but on the 7th yom, which is the Shabbat, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th yom to gather, and they find none. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, How long do you refuse to shomer my mitzvot and my Torah? See that YaHUaH has given you the Shabbat, therefore he gives you on the 6th yom the lechem for 2 yamim. Abide every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th yom. So the people rested on the 7th yom, and Beit Yisrael called the name of it manna, and it was like coriander zera, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moshe said, This is the thing which YaHUaH commands. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your future generations, that they might see the lechem with which I have led you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Mizraim. And Moshe said to Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna inside, store it up before YaHUaH to be kept for your future generations. As YaHUaH commanded Moshe, so Aaron stored it before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came to the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys according to the command of YaHUaH, and pitched camp in Rephidim. And there was no mayim for the people to drink. Therefore the people did strive with Moshe and said, give us mayim that we might drink. And Moshe said to them, why do you strive with me? Why do you test YaHUaH? And the people thirsted for mayim. And the people murmured against Moshe and said, why is this that you have brought us up out of Mitzrayim to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moshe cried to YaHUaH, saying, what shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, go on before the people and take with you the zechanim of Israel and your rod with which you smote the river. Take it in your hand and go. See, I will stand before you there upon the rock in Horeb, and you shall smite the rock, and there shall come mayim out of it, so that the people might drink. And Moshe did so in the sight of the zechanim of Israel, and he called the name of the place Massah and Merivah, because of the striving of the children of Israel, and because they tested YaHUaH, saying, is YaHUaH among us or not? Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moshe said to YaHUsha, choose us some men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of YaHUaH in my hand. So YaHUsha did as Moshe had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moshe, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moshe held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moshe's hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat down. And Aaron and Hur held up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side. And his hand was steady until the going down of the Shemesh. And YaHUsha defeated Amalek and the people with the edge of the sword. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, write this for a memorial in the scroll, and rehearse it in the ears of YaHUsha, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the Shamayim. And Moshe built an altar and called the name of it YaHUaH Nisi, for he said, because his hand is on the kiseh of YaHUaH, YaHUaH will have a war with Amalek from generation to generation. When Yethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's Abba's-in-law, heard of all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Israel his people, and that YaHUaH had brought Israel out of Mitzrayim, then Yethro, Moshe's Abba's-in-law, took Zipporah, Moshe's Isha, after he had sent her back, and her two sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been a girl in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eliezer, for the Elohim of my Abba, said he, was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Yethro, Moshe's Abba-in-law, came with his sons and his Isha to Moshe into the wilderness, where he camped at the mount of Elohim. And he said to Moshe, I, your Abba-in-law Yethro, have come to you with your Isha and her two sons with her. And Moshe went out to meet his Abba-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare. And they came into the tent. And Moshe told his Abba-in-law all that YaHUaH has done to Pharaoh and to the Mitzrayim for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how YaHUaH delivered them. And Yethro rejoiced for all the tov that YaHUaH had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Mitzrayim. And Yethro said, Blessed be YaHUaH, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Mitzrayim, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mitzrayim. Now I know that YaHUaH is greater than all Elohim, for in the thing in which they dealt privately he was above them, And Yethro, Moshe's Abba-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for Elohim. And Aaron came and all the Zechanim of Israel to eat lechem with Moshe's Abba-in-law before Elohim. And it came to pass the next Yom that Moshe sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moshe from the morning to the evening. And when Moshe's Abba-in-law saw all that he did for the people, he said, "What is this thing that you do for all the people? Why do you sit alone, and all the people stand before you from morning to evening?" And Moshe said to his Abba-in-law, "Because the people come to me to inquire of Elohim. When they have a matter, they come to me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the chukim of Elohim and his Torot." And Moshe's Abba-in-law said to him, "The thing that you do is not told. You will surely wear away, both you and this people that is with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it yourself all alone. Shema now to my voice. I will give you counsel, and Elohim shall be with you. Stand before Elohim for the people, that you might bring the matters to Elohim. And you shall teach them the ordinances in Torah, and shall show them the direct in which they must have the halakha, and the work that they must do. Moreover, you shall provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Elohim, men of emet, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s and rulers of 10. And let them judge the people all seasons. It shall be that every greater matter they shall bring to you, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for yourself, and they shall bear the burden with you. And if you shall do this thing, and Elohim command you so, then you shall be able to endure, and the entire people shall also go to their place in Shalom." So Moshe listened to the voice of his Abba-in-law and did all that he had said. And Moshe chose able men out of all Israel and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard matter they brought to Moshe, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moshe let his Abba-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. In the third Chodesh, when the children of Israel had gone forth out of the land of Mizraim, the same Yom they came into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had camped in the wilderness. And there Yisrael camped before the mount, and Moshe went up to Elohim, and YaHuaH called to him out of the heart, saying, "This shall you say to Beit Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Mizraim, and how I bore you on eagle wings and brought you to myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice, indeed, and shomer my brit, then shall you be a peculiar treasure to me above all peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a malchut of Kohanim and a kadosh nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the children of Israel." And Moshe came and called for the Zechanim of the people, and set before them all the words that YaHuaH commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, "All that YaHuaH has spoken we will do." And Moshe returned the word of the people to YaHuaH. And YaHuaH said to Moshe, "See, I came to you in a thick cloud, that the people might hear when I speak with you, and believe you le'olam va'ed." And Moshe told the words of the people to YaHuaH. And YaHuaH said to Moshe, "Go to the people and say to them, apart today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready by the third Yom. For on the third Yom YaHuaH will come down in the sight of all the people upon RSTNE. And you shall set borders for the people all around, saying, Be careful that you go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whoever touch the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be a beast or a man, it shall not live. When the shofar sound long, they shall come near the heart." And Moshe went down from the mount to the people, and set apart the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said to the people, Be ready for the third yom, approach not your wives in intimacy. And it came to pass on the third yom in the morning, that there was a thunder and lightning and thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the shofar exceedingly loud, so that all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the foot of the Har. And RSTNE was altogether in smoke, because YaHUaH descended upon it in fire, and the smoke of it ascended as the smoke of a furnace. And the whole mount shook greatly. And when the voice of the shofar sounded long and became louder and louder, Moshe spoke, and Elohim answered him by a voice. And YaHUaH came down upon RSTNE on the top of the mount, and YaHUaH called Moshe up to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, Go down and warn the people, lest they break through to YaHUaH to see, and many of them perish. And let the Kohanim also, who came near to YaHUaH, set themselves apart, lest YaHUaH break forth upon them. And Moshe said to YaHUaH, The people cannot come up to RSTNE, for you warned us, saying, Set border around the Har and set it apart. And YaHUaH said to him, Away, get down, and you shall come up, you and Aaron with you. But let not the Kohanim and the people break through to come up to YaHUaH, lest he break forth upon them. So Moshe went down to the people and spoke to them. And the word of Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am YaHUaH your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the bite of bondage. You shall have no other Elohim before my face. You shall not make to you any graven image, or any manner of likeness of anything that is in the Shamayim above, or that is in the Eretz beneath, or that is in Mayim under the Eretz. You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them, for I, YaHUaH your Elohim, is a zealous Elohim, visiting iniquity of the avot upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of those that hate me, and showing rachamim to the 1,000th generation of them that love me, and keep my mitzvot. You shall not bring the name of YaHUaH your Elohim to vain emptiness, for YaHUaH will not hold him guiltless, nor clean the one that bring his name to vain emptiness. Remember the Yom HaShabbat to shomer them as Kadosh. 6 Yamim you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th Yom is the Shabbat of YaHUaH your Elohim, and then you shall not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male Eved, nor your female Eved, nor your cattle, nor your stranger, nor your convert that is within your gate. For in 6 Yamim YaHUaH made the Shamayim and the Eretz, the sea and all that is in them, and rest in the 7th Yom. Therefore YaHUaH blessed the Shabbat Yom and set it apart. Honor your Abba and your Ima, that your name may belong upon the land that YaHUaH your Elohim gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet your neighbor's bait, you shall not covet your neighbor's Isha, or his male Eved, or his female Eved, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning and the noise of the shofar and the harsh smoking. And when the people saw it, they moved back and stood at a distance. And they said to Moshe, You speak with us, and we will listen, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said to the people, Fear not, for YaHUaH is come to test you, that his fear might be before your faces, that you sin not. And the people stood far off, and Moshe drew near to the thick darkness where Elohim was. And YaHUaH said to Moshe, This shall you say to the children of Israel, You have seen that I have talked with you from the Shamayim. You shall not make besides me Elohim of silver, neither shall you make for yourselves Elohim of gold. An altar of earth you shall make for me, and shall sacrifice there your burnt offerings and your Shalom offerings, your sheep and your oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come to you and I will bless you. And if you will make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of cut stone. For if you lift up your stool upon it, you have polluted it. neither shall you go up by steps to my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered on it.